Because I saw your video on delusions that India has, and I wanted to ask a follow up question. Where do you think India really stands with respect to superpowers like the US and other countries like China, Russia, etc.? I see that India is certainly on the right path of success and becoming a great country. At least that's the general sentiment. But in reality, where does India really stand? And when and how do you think India will reach the top of the level of top nations like the US? India is currently, look, I look at the world from a very realistic hard power perspective. To hell with soft power and all this nonsense. What matters is hard power. Hard power is economic might plus military might, and some other factors that are all material factors. Okay, so from that perspective, India is the fourth most powerful nation in the world. Number one in the world, you have the US, the most powerful nation, superpower. Number two is Russia, which is about half as strong as the US. So if the US has a hard power score of, let's say, 100, then Russia has a score of 50. Number three is China. And China is about 20 on the hard power scale, roughly almost a third of Russia. And India is about 5 on the hard power score, about a fourth, about roughly a fourth of China, a third or fourth, maybe 6 or something on the hard power scale, India. And then you have France, which is about 5, slightly below India. So that's where India stands. India's power is about one third of China, about 1/10 of Russia, and about 1/20th that of the US. That's where we stand in the world's pecking order. Number 4, but nowhere close to the top 3. That's where we stand with respect to genuine big powers. Okay, that's simply the way it is. And if people get upset to hear that, well, the facts don't care about anyone's feelings. Now, uh, is India on the path to success? Yes and no. There are good things happening in India, no question about it. India's economy has done tremendously well the past 10 years. We have almost doubled our GDP in the past 10 years. A lot of infrastructure has been created in the last 10 years. A lot of infrastructure, highways, railways, airports, whatnot has been built in the past 10 years. Tremendous progress. Extreme poverty is almost like negligible levels now in India. Nobody starves to death anymore. Okay, so much has improved in India. Indians today genuinely aspire for so much more, and lots of Indians believe we are almost close to being a superpower. So that's how much India has changed in the past 10, 20, whatever years. So a lot is going in the right direction. India's economic growth, India is the only major economy that has zero chance of recession, which will keep on growing. So that's again great for India. Our military strength is good. What is also great is that we are an independent space power. We don't need to depend on anybody for satellite launches or anything. That's great for India. That's a great asset to have. And what really ensures our sovereignty is the nuclear deterrent that we have and the means to deliver those nuclear warheads. All of that is great. So we are definitely on the right track in all these things. No question about it. But we have significant problems. The education system is a disaster. And because of the education system, how poor it is, Indians live in a delusional world. Indians don't know how to think. They are afraid to ask questions. They don't even know what questions to ask of themselves, of others, or anything. They don't know how to think critically. It's very easy to fool Indians through propaganda and media narratives, and so on. So many problems with the education system that needs to be fixed. That's number one. Number two, India's biggest problem is corruption. What you going to do about that? Is anything being done about that? Unfortunately, no. Third, the political system is completely unsuitable for a nation like India. The Westminster democracy that we have, the parliamentary system, a much better system of democracy would have been the presidential system for India, in which things get done much faster. And the gigantically bloated and inefficient bureaucracy is a huge drag on India. And like I said, corruption is the worst thing that India is suffering from, and nobody even dares to speak about it. The whole nation allegedly runs on corruption. And then we have issues like 100 million illegal immigrants, at least in India. Bangladeshis, Rohingyas, and cookies and whatnot. So many issues. So all these issues will ensure that India never becomes a great power. We'll keep on going in the right direction, but we'll never become genuinely great. We'll never fulfill our true potential. So these things need to be addressed. We have the potential to be the greatest nation in the world, the most powerful nation in the world. But right now, we are not Vishwaguru, we are Vishwakuli. And we are not superpower. We are number four barely, and nowhere close to even China. Forget about Russia or the US. These are hard facts. We have all the potential, but we need drastic reforms, significant surgery. Who will dare to do it? Which leader will have the cojones to do it? Is the question. Apologies for that Spanish word.